Today we will hear from a veteran magazine executive, entrepreneur, and zhuzher extraordinaire, who joins us to share her story of persistence, resilience, and roaring with style. Cricket Burns is an effervescent fashionista with her finger on the pulse of collective trends. She made a name for herself as an esteemed editor and stylist in New York City, where for 3 decades she held masthead positions at several publications, including Harper's Bazaar, 17, Avenue, and Quest magazines. She launched her own publication, and when faced with a nightmarish personal challenge, rose to reinvent her life and herself with humor and grace. Now, as she focuses her laser chic styling and design expertise in her own business through the lens of home decor, she also finds time to create and sell her collection of affordable jewelry called, what else? Cricket's Crushed Diamonds. Her motto is, "A little over the top is where I like to view best." She says that knowing when to take a risk and being open to making a leap of faith are invaluable tools. She loves shopping, good pasta, and fine Chardonnay all at the same time. She believes humor is critical in almost every situation, as is persistence and having a level head. And if she had the chance to live a parallel life, she dreams of becoming a rock star. Well, from where we sit, she already is. Please give a warm welcome to Cricket Burns.
Thank you so much, Ashley. That was really sweet. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank SRQ Media and my dear friend, Ashley Grant, friend of 30 plus years.
We're not that old.
No, we're not. For inviting me to celebrate with all of you today. And also to my sister, Susan, for accompanying me on this exciting journey. And very importantly, congratulations to Patty as this year's Trailblazer Award recipient, who you will hear from a little later. So, my career has been a roller coaster of lofty pinnacles and deep, dark valleys. And the ride has been wild, but it has also taught me my greatest lessons. To notice the signposts along the way, recognize opportunities disguised as detours, and the absolute necessity of perseverance when facing obstacles. Because it's not what life throws at you, it's how you respond that makes all the difference. And as Winston Churchill famously said, when you are going through hell, keep going. Never, never, never give up. In thinking back, my 30-plus year career in fashion might not have even happened were it not for a bit of kismet. After college, my first thought was, now what? There seemed to be an empty speech bubble above my head with the word career and a huge black question mark. All of my classmates seemed to be heading to medical school, law school, Wall Street, so sure of their life direction, and all I knew for sure was that I was a fashion and style junkie. And although I had graduated summa cum laude from Georgetown University, instead of my academic cred, the attribute that seemed to be most notable about me was apparently my illustrious fashion choices. Yeah, I remember Cricket, the girl with those crazy neon fur coats and the glittery high heels. She wore a rubber boots with a mini skirt and a tiara to class one day when it was raining out. I heard the voices in my head. On-trend outfits and styling skills do not get one a sustainable job in New York City, Cricket. What kind of career path are you thinking of? I desperately needed to be pointed in the right direction, and that first signpost came in the most unlikely of places. A post-graduation gift/trip with my parents led to a serendipitous meeting with the New York City's hairstylist to the stars, who asked me what my life plans were. I winced and I shrugged. He looked me up and down and he said, well, my client happens to be the editor-in-chief of Harper's Bazaar. And I also happen to know that they're looking for a fashion assistant. Drop the mic. And so my journey began. Day one of my career in fashion. I arrived all bouncy and blown dry in the middle of an unseasonable snowstorm in the wrong outfit. I was greeted by a renowned, tough-as-nails editor who gave me a wrinkled-nosed sniff and shoved a scribbled piece of paper into my sweating palm. So, you're the new girl. Turn right around and get back on that elevator and don't ever come back here unless you can find 2 bags of pastel-colored cotton balls and get them to Scavullo's studio pronto. That was Candy Pratt's price. And uber fashionista, renowned for having styled the windows at Bloomingdale's, she wore plaid and pinstripes together, 3 fur coats at once when it was cold, and she said, turquoise, not turquoise. She frightened the living daylights out of me. Now, I hadn't even moved into New York City yet. I was commuting from the town I grew up in Connecticut, and I had no idea which was even north, south, east, or west. But I did it. I found those damn cotton balls at a fancy chemist on Madison Avenue, and I made it to Scavullo's studios just in time. For some reason, Scavullo took a liking to me, and from then on, he requested me for every Harper's Bazaar photo shoot. That really pissed Candy off, and I secretly loved. So here are some of the fabulous covers that I worked with the late, great Francesco Scavullo on. Pretty glam, right? For the 80s. Well, yes, but Candy wasn't going anywhere. There was no opportunity for growth. And photo shoots aside, every day held another version of the cotton ball finding mission with smatterings of, please pick up my dry cleaning, I'll take a half-calf latte, things like that. And let me just tell you that the Devil Wears Prada is 1,000% accurate. After 3 years of this, I had had enough. So I heard that 17 magazine was looking for an accessories editor. Okay, I love jewelry as much as the next girl. So I resigned at Bazaar, but I was told in my resignation meeting that it was proper lockjaw that every editor had, that this was unequivocally the decision that would be a career ender, a tragic move from which I would never recover. I had no idea if this was true, but I had heard the cautionary tales of editorial heaven, where after a lifelong career dedicated to one magazine, you receive a small stipend and work on a never-to-be-published book on the history of said magazine until you get another job or you just die of embarrassment. Staying where I was felt a lot like that. And I was not ready for the pearly gates, even if they were decked out in this season's Gucci. So I ran across town to the offices of 17, where I worked hard and I climbed the ranks all the way to the top, the coveted position of fashion director. But lest I get too comfortable, life sent the next detour my way in the form of a wolf in sheepskin Jimmy Choos. In fashion, inter-office politics and backstabbing are as common as stilettos and hoop earrings. After years of hard work and accomplishment, suddenly there was a new editor in town sitting at a makeshift desk that they nudged right up next to mine with a title that sounded ominously like my own. Me, fashion director, her, style director. It's just semantics. The writing was on the wall. It was time to go, and quickly. So, with my Rolodex cards flying, I called every contact I could, and I landed the top spot of style director at Avenue Magazine, and then a few years later at Quest Magazine. They both were heavy, glossy, chic, luxury lifestyle publications that dove deep into the pulse of the social scene in Manhattan. They had the budget to send me in style to the European collections, along with a fabulous pay raise. Done? Done. I had my strength back and felt like a new and re-energized version of my best self. I had successfully pulled myself up by my Chanel bootstraps, and I was proud. My career and my personal life seemed to be skyrocketing. I was traveling to Milan and Paris for fashion shows, attending extravagant galas, rubbing shoulders with the New York City glitterati. I was making enough money to move from a minuscule studio to a slightly less minuscule one-bedroom. And after about 250 bad first dates, I finally met my husband, Richard. We had a dream wedding. My first baby girl arrived, then my second baby girl. Everyone was happy and healthy. My career was awesome. Life seemed perfect. Until that detour sign popped up again. But this time, it was giant, triangular, bright yellow, and in my face. I had had no history, no signs, no warnings, but there it was, stage 3 breast cancer that had spread through my lymph nodes, requiring surgery followed by a year of intense chemotherapy and radiation. I took one last selfie photo with my daughter, Manzi. I wore really bad wigs on Halloween and on New Year's Eve, and I felt near death 90% of the time. Meanwhile, my colleagues, my family, and my friends cheered me on and patiently waited for Cricket to get her spark back. And I did, kind of, until 1 year later, when my husband's lighthearted request to confirm what he thought were swollen glands in his neck quickly turned into a diagnosis of stage 4 throat cancer. How is this possible? Just 1 year later, 2 young, healthy parents, suddenly the cancer couple. Hello, are you up there? My girls, 6 and 8 during my battle, now 7 and 9, had to batten down their little hatches for round 2. And this round was even more terrifying. You see, the treatment for head and neck cancer is literally the stuff of nightmares. We soothed, supported, prayed, while we watched Richard suffer unconsolably. He fought for himself, he fought for me, mostly he fought for our small daughters, Nancy and India. He fought and he won. As a family, we fought twice and we won, and we're here. My career was on creative cruise control, but after everything that we had been through, it seemed a bit rote. I felt really lost, and I really was feeling very uninspired. And then popped up a serendipitous signpost that looked like the top of Magazine Mountain. The 3 top masthead editors at Avenue, including myself, were made an offer by the New York Observer to create a visionary lifestyle publication from the ground up. It was a dream opportunity. I was creative director of my own magazine, which we named Scene. I had a new lease on life, my creativity kicked into high gear, and the salary and benefits broke my own personal glass ceiling. I took tremendous pride in this publication and considered it the pinnacle of my career until everything came crashing down. The now defunct New York Observer, which was a city institution, was in financial distress. Our salaries and large office spaces were being questioned. The writing was on that wall once again. So I packed my personals in 2 giant Hermes boxes, which once housed the Birkins that this job afforded me. I slipped out the back elevator in a state of utter disbelief. Now what? I thought. Devastated, pride demolished, my self-worth in question, I dove deep into brainstorming, 24/7, at home, on my next move, all of my contacts. I just called everyone in the industry, but the oddest thing happened. No one knew of openings, nor had much advice for me, but instead kept looking around my apartment saying, "Who decorated this? It's amazing." And I replied, "I did. I've had time on my hands, I did it." Soon enough, I found myself spending all my time giving my friends and family's homes much needed, stylish faceless. And I was loving it. Then I realized the biggest aha signpost was staring me right in the face. So I grabbed it, and I have reinvented my career and my life. Home decor is in many ways the older sibling of fashion, so the transition, instead of feeling like a totally scary about face, it felt just right. And that's how I became the zhuzher, which I want to just explain quickly. In the Urban Dictionary, to zhuzh means to kind of, put your collar up, put on a statement necklace, give yourself that one last twist and fabulous addition that you might not have done, and that's what makes all the difference. So I started my home design company, Cricket's Crush, which is named after my long-standing magazine columns in several different magazines. The business took off like wildfire, and then the press started coming. After all those years spent placing talented up-and-comers in my magazine, it was time for them to pay me back. So my New York City apartment and my Southampton home became Shelter magazine cover stories. My work has been featured in the Hamptons magazine, Beach magazine, the New York Times, the Southampton Press, on and on. I was featured on Open House with Sarah Gore, which aired on the NBC network, and in taxi cabs all over the city. I've designed homes in New York City, the Hamptons, Connecticut, New Jersey, Florida, and even Montana. I launched a summer home decor pop-up shop, and I was recruited by the live shopping network Evine to create and produce a line of affordable diamond jewelry called Cricket's Crush Diamonds. I was in my glory. And the best part of this saga, I am running my own company now. I'm in charge of my destiny, and I'm happier and more comfortable in my own skin than I have ever been before. So there you have my reinvention story of 2 steps forward, 10 steps back, and a few forward again. I have become a master chef at making lemonade out of the many lemons I have been handed throughout my career and my life. But the recipe gets tastier, more delicious with every opportunity and risk I embrace. The takeaway from all of this: if you are unsure of your path or needing a career or life reinvention, look for the signposts. They will be there. What makes your heart sing? What is your passion? Follow that. Do that. Do you in all your glory. The world needs your gifts. Work hard, hone your craft, and once you're gaining steam, don't let someone else slap a dead-end sign on your dreams. Never shortchange your growth to please someone else, especially someone who sends you out in a blinding snowstorm for pink cotton balls. They will never be satisfied, and you'll be miserable and stuck. Keep your friends close and your competitors even closer, preferably not at a makeshift desk nudged right up next to yours. Be a team player and a collaborator, but always remember to heed your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. So address it immediately and directly. If you find you're in a toxic or shady environment, cut your losses, grab your pole, and go fish upstream. Navigate around the detours with positivity and a sense of humor. Keep on the lookout for opportunities and avoid stagnation. Change, while it can be uncomfortable and scary, always leads to growth. And always remember that family and friends are what true success is made of. At the end of the road, you won't be thinking about the awards you won or the money you made or the toys you collected. You will be remembering the love you shared. Finally, make sure to celebrate yourself. Women are risk takers and reinventors. We are daughters, we are mothers, wives, mentors. We are a glorious and stunning mix of dreams and lofty goals, boundless creativity, adaptability, pure energy, and sheer determination. We are miraculous multitaskers, and while we may be exhausted, we do it all, ladies, and we do it well. So I salute all of you, and I wish you so well on your fabulous journey, wherever it may take you. Thank you so much.
much, Cricket, for sharing your story. It is my great privilege to present our next guest with a very special award.